Alright guys, I was just cleaning up my Mustang today and got a little carried away, but I kind of had to. Anyways, this is a good example of probably something that you can actually see on a white car. White cars are really hard to work on because you just kind of go snowblind. But anyways, I wiped the car off with the Mother's Instant Detailer, and I don't know, it was looking better, you know. I wiped the dirt off. It's like, yeah, it's starting to shine, whatever. And then I thought, well, I'm gonna come back with the Mother's cleaner wax, the paste wax. This stuff it's pretty awesome, and in my opinion, it's probably one of the best cleaner waxes out there. Although that's starting to change, so we'll get to that in a moment here. So this is the pad I was using. So you can see it's just nasty. So I was doing the hood, and the hood was looking funky. I had like kind of like smearing marks in it. And I mean, it's straightened out now, but you know, I was putting the wax on the hood and I went to take it off. You know, because when you use this Mother's, you really don't want to get ahead of yourself. It's kind of like you want to apply it to 2 panels and go back and remove it from the first panel before you go putting more on. Like, I wouldn't put that on the entire car and then try to remove it. You'll be pretty unhappy. So like I said, I put that coat of wax on the hood. This thing was looking all nasty, and then it was all smeary, streaky, and I was like, man, what's going on here? Like, you know, something's not right. So I thought, well, I got this swirl remover 2.0, so I kind of did a spot on the spoiler. I'll open the door in a little bit to show you. Kind of can't see in this lighting, but I mean, it did a great job, like just getting that layer of doo-doo sauce off of there, which you can kind of see here. Not kind of see, you can definitely see it. And of course, the camera doesn't want to focus because it doesn't like white paint. But anyways, any of you guys who've you know, been watching some of my videos, you'll know last year I buffed this car, and then like right after I buffed it, I had it outside and it got like acid rain etched into it, and I still haven't really fixed that. So I thought, well, let's see if I can get this layer of doo-doo off of there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch it on here, but you know, definitely, I mean, you can see how much darker that paint is, all the dirt on there. But the other thing I'm going to try to catch, it's still got you might be able to see them there. It's still got those etching marks. They're kind of faint. They just look like really tiny water droplets. So, like I said, I messed around with the swirl remover. I mean, that did a good job. It definitely brought the shine back and got rid of that darkness. But it was not pulling. As you can see, I just did this spot with the swirl remover, and those little etching marks are still in there. So I grabbed my Ultimate Compound, and this stuff did a great job. It pulled the watermarks out, and it got all the dirtiness out of the white paint. But I thought, well, I don't feel like hitting this with compound and then going back with a polish. So I grabbed my, this is the D151 PRC, which is like Meguiar's all-in-one. You know, you can supposedly it's a compound when you use it on a compound pad, and you can polish with it with a polish pad, and then you can even use this as a wax, which this is a really good product. Like, I can't really complain about this stuff. I've had pretty good results with this stuff. And I would have used this if it wasn't for the D166. So this is what I ended up using, and it just by hand. You know, I got the hood straightened out and it looks great. And I've had really good results with the D166, and then I like to put it in I call it the baller bottle, because these things are awesome. You probably really don't need it for the 166 because it comes in a pretty decent container, but if you buy it in a gallon, you definitely want to get that bottle. So I think what I'm going to do is, well, I'll open the door and show you the spoiler, and then I'm going to just kind of remask this, and I'm going to hit this with the 166 and show you what it's doing versus the swirl remover. pretty sure the camera's picking that up because it's a pretty dramatic difference. And that's just a swirl remover. So coming back to this. It's probably a lot easier to see that with the door shut. So let me shut the door again and try to get a shot of that. Alright, so I apologize if it's not really picking it up. This is hard to film, and then it's kind of funny sometimes you go back and you go to put the video together and you're like, oh, I can totally see it, but I couldn't see it in the viewfinder. So anyways, regardless, this does have like, I think you can kind of see it. It's just like little cloudy etchings in there. So like I said, I'm going to rub this spot up with the D166, and I'll show you, I might even, maybe I'll just mask it in half, give you like a 50-50 shot. Alright, so this side didn't touch. This is still the Swirl Remover 2.0. And then I got this with the 166. And I think you can see just a little bit of etching in there. And look at how much deeper that looks. I mean, this almost has like a wet look to it. So it looks like there's still a little more in there. I'll get it out. I just gotta lay into it a little more, but not bad, especially by hand. So I mean, if I went over this car, I mean, I'm kind of trying to avoid using a power tool, but that'd probably really be the way to go. Just put a polish or a wax pad on there, mask the car off, and hit it with the 166. But like I said, I mean, the PRC is still pretty good. This stuff is pretty awesome, but I would say the 166 is just a little bit easier to work with. As far as the stuff is a lot easier to remove, but the PRC, the 151, this stuff does cut really well. I mean, this stuff is pretty close to Ultimate Compound with how much it'll cut. And actually, I think that's a good combo, using the Ultimate Compound. If you're gonna two-step, use the Ultimate Compound with the 166 as your polish. Probably the only time that a white car works out for trying to make a detail video. But I mean, the other thing to take into consideration is, there's darker colored cars that have the same thing going on, and this is why a lot of people, especially like you got a daily driver or you got that family vehicle that kind of gets neglected. I mean, you should definitely be looking into using a cleaner wax, because it's really going to help restore that finish. And then this is just doing it by hand. I mean, this isn't getting crazy using some kind of power tool. I mean, you can get a really good result just, getting the right product and using it correctly. And that's kind of the other thing. When you go to apply any of these cleaner waxes, make sure that you really work it into the panel. So like if I was going to wax this, I'm just going to put a coat on. So if I'm using the cleaner wax, I'm going to actually put pressure on that pad. I'm not trying to just get the product on there. I want to work it into the surface. So be sure to use pressure and probably go over the same area, 2 or 3 times. But man, what a difference. Pretty ridiculous. Alright guys, I hope you liked the video. Like I said, I just wanted to give you a quick shot of this. And, I'll put a link to these products or whatever, especially that 166, and then I'll even get you the link for those bottles in case you want to pick these up. These are pretty good. I like using them. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.